Hello everyone. Today I have a really cute and simple little treat box to share with you. This is using our cracker treat box dies. So I have those right here. These are cracker and treat box dies. These are some amazing dies and they make really simple, cute, affordable little projects to hand out to anybody in your life right now. So let's go ahead and get started. I love this little project. So I have already die cut my treat box using some Melon Mambo cardstock. And so what we're going to do is go ahead and score, well, not score, fold on all those score lines. The die will not only cut this really fun shape for you, but it also scores everything. So you don't have to worry about where to score or how to score or anything like that. When you get to these little lines up here, these are a little bit trickier to fold on that score line. So just take your time. Be very careful and make sure you give everything a good burnish with your bone folder, because that really helps everything go together much smoother. Okay, I'm gonna give that another little fold that way. And this treat box is gonna kind of wrap up like this. So the more that you can kind of manipulate those score lines to tell them what to do, the easier this is going to go together. Okay, so let's fold this one this way. All right, now there are little score lines in between all of these little triangles too, so just, we don't need to burnish those, just give them a little kind of smoosh there. Just kind of tell them what direction they're gonna need to go in. All right, so that is our little box all folded and burnished. I'm gonna take some Stampin' Seal Plus. This is a very strong adhesive, so it's gonna work well to hold our box together. You can also use tear and tape or liquid glue if you want. Now, I just ran a strip. I put some on one panel, so just one of those little score lines, but I made sure to do from the scalloped edge to the scalloped edge, and then just kind of skip those little pinched parts. All right, you're just going to kind of roll this up, and I'm going to line up. I'm going to make sure that I'll start by lining up the scallops on one end, and then we're just going to kind of work our way down, working that all folded up and press it into the adhesive. And then when we get up to the other side, just line up those scallops, give it a little push. You can even stick your bone folder in there, make sure everything is nice and secure, and that is your little treat box. Your little corners should just kind of push in. If they're not pushing in, just kind of give them a little pinch just to tell them how to go in. Okay, isn't that cute? It goes together really quickly. Once you make a couple of them, you'll get the hang of it. Now I'm going to keep my little ends tied with just some baker's twine. So I'm actually going to find that seam. I want that to be in the back. So I'm going to make sure that that is on the bottom. And I'm just using white baker's twine from our Essentials twine pack. There are 4 other colors in the Essentials twine pack that you can choose from. So I'm going to tie my bow. I'm pulling it pretty tight because I want the cracker treat box to be pulled fairly tight. I'm going to just make my bow a little bit smaller. Go, and just finish finagling this. All right, if you need to trim off any ends, just give it a little haircut there. All right, now before you seal up the other end, make sure you put in your treat. I've had to undo a lot of them because I forgot this. I am just putting a little lemon Kit Kat in mine. Any of the Kit Kat size flavors will work. This little tiny size will work. Other things that I have put in these little boxes are little chapsticks. Those fit well in here, but you can put any little treat in here. And I'm going to tie up the other side. Now that our treat is in there, we can tie up the other side. This project has 4 different bows on it, which on camera is a little bit nerve-wracking, but it is definitely worth all the little bows. All right, give that a little trim. I think that side looks pretty good. All right, so that is basically your little cracker treat box. Came together very quickly, very easily. All right, I have a piece of, I want to trim this down to 4.5. I have a piece that is 2 by 4.5, so, oops, wrong trimmer. Let me grab this one. I started with a piece of DSP that was 2 by 5, and I realized that was just, let's take it off the bottom. I realized that 2 by 5 was just a little too big, so 2 by 4.5 is what you want, and the measurements are in the video description as well. And we're just going to adhere this onto our cracker treat box. I'm going to use my strong adhesive again, and I'm just going to adhere on all 4 sides. I am using the Enjoy the Journey DSP. This DSP is in our mini catalog. It is gorgeous. It's one of my favorites. Actually, let's start with the darker side. This is like a mountain range piece, and it is just simply gorgeous. Okay, there's my back. I want to start on the back, so I'm looking for the seam of my box. I'm just going to line that up with the edge, just kind of centered, and then we're just going to go around, burnish those sides. Make sure that if you have any of that bow hanging off, you don't adhere it down to your box. And then we'll just finish on the bottom, and you can just go through, pinch those little sides there, and that just adds this beautiful like ombre look to our box. Isn't that pretty? All right, now let's work on our greeting. I have already, for my tags here, I've already done some die cutting. I die cut from the Tailor Made Tags dies. I die cut the second smallest of the little rounded edge tag, and then also from the Cracker and Treat Box dies, I die cut the little rounded tag and then a heart from those same dies. So we're gonna get to those. And actually, let's go ahead and adhere that heart down. Let me grab my liquid glue because we're gonna lose it otherwise. So just a little dot of glue. You can also use a glue dot. I'm gonna use my Take Your Pick tool and pick up that little tiny heart and just stick it right onto our tag, just like that, okay? All right, let's stamp our greeting. I have some pumpkin pie ink, and my greeting is from the Greatest Journey set in the mini catalog. This is a really fun one. I've made some really great projects with that one. It really stands out as a keeper for sure. The greetings are just great, and then there's also some really fun dies that coordinate with it. All right, so pumpkin pie ink, and we want to adhere this down. We're going to adhere it down to our box, but we're also going to tie it down. So I'm going to put a couple dimensionals on the back of this, and I'm going to have those ready to go. And I'm going to pull off, I'm going to kind of estimate how much of this I'm going to need. This is pumpkin pie twine from our 3 twine combo pack. And I'm going to cut off a length of that. And this twine is a little bit thicker than like our baker's twine, than this twine that we used. So I found the best way to tie this on is I'm actually going to fold it in half, and on this rounded edge here on the folded edge, this is the side that I'm actually going to push through from the front to the back, and that threads it onto our tag, and that makes it much easier to thread onto our project. And we have this little opening here, so we're just going to kind of wrap that around our box and pull this forward. Just get the ribbon where you want it to go, and we are going to just adhere the tag on, kind of at an angle like that. And we can kind of finagle the ribbon, and tying it on when it's onto the box like this is going to give you some more stability. It's going to be a little bit easier to tie. All right, before we tie it up, I have some of our Simply Elegant trim. This comes in gold and silver. It's a really, really beautiful package, and we're going to just cut a little bit of this off too. And this is going to get a little bit confusing, but this is the best way that I found that this works. So I'm just going to lay that gold thread on there, and we're going to tie this down into a little knot here. And that's going to secure this in place. We're going to end up tying this little heart tag on that in a minute. So, but I want to make sure that it's tied onto our pumpkin pie piece. So just move that one out of the way, and then we're going to tie a bow with our pumpkin pie piece. There are probably lots of ways to do this, and to be honest with you guys, it is only 7 a.m. in my house, and I've already made a bunch of these little treat boxes. So perhaps, you know, working in daylight when your brain is a little bit more functional might come up with some easier ideas, but this is how I've done it, and it seems to work pretty well. So you have a little bow. All right, now we're gonna thread this tag onto the gold thread. Let's see, can I do that? The hole on this little oval tag is much smaller, so it's a little bit harder to thread on there. But I love the look of these layered bows, all these little bows, and then we're just gonna tie this one into a bow, and then that will be it. 4 bows, 1 video, and I think that they were all successful. Just give everything a haircut, trim those up, and you have your adorable little treat box. Isn't that fun? So you can have a bunch of these ready to go. They're the perfect gift just to hang out in your purse and just hand out whenever you need to give out a little treat box. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. That really helps me out. If you do want to shop for any of these products, I have links in my video description, and there's a link to my blog where you can check out more of this project. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Bye.